Now, everybody listen. No interpretation here. Just listen to the man who's going to be the Republican nominee for president, explaining the importance of energy independence and how it will allow us to not have to fight any more wars in the Middle East. Listen to his own words.
I will have an energy policy that we will be talking about, which will eliminate our dependence on oil from the Middle East, that will then prevent us from having ever to send our young men and women into conflict again in the Middle East.
The whole world's listening. And here's a guy who could be our next president saying, we're not fighting over there for values or democracy or Israel or peace or geopolitics or ideology. We're fighting for something in our gas tank that's a little cheaper. What an amazing statement.
If we don't reenact the draft, I don't think we'll have anyone to chase bin Laden to the gates of hell.
Ma'am, let me say that I don't disagree with anything you said.
These young people that are in this crowd, my friends, I'm going to be asking you to serve. I'm going to be asking you to step forward and serve this nation in difficult times.
You get John McCain in the White House, and I do believe we will be at war with Iran.
In case you just missed it, there was a near confrontation in the Straits of Hormuz between the United States Navy and some ships representing the Iranians.
He's in Putin's face. He's threatening the Iranians. We're going to be in Iraq 100 years. He expects more wars.
When I got to give you some straight talk, my friends, it's a tough war we're in. It's not going to be over right away. There's going to be other wars. I'm sorry to tell you, there's going to be other wars. We will never surrender, but there will be other wars.
If you take a look at the McCain foreign policy, he is in everybody's face. Did you see Thad Cochran's comment when he endorsed Romney? He said, look, John McCain is a bellicose, red-faced, angry guy who constantly explodes.
But it's a long, hard struggle.
I've got to tell you that we're going to be in this struggle for the rest of this century. And I'm sorry to tell you that we're going to be in further wars.
And we were in 2 wars today, combating it, and there are other places in the world where we may have to.
This is a long, hard, tough war.
The consequences of failure in Iraq are catastrophic.
And it's going to be very expensive, and it's going to be long and hard and difficult. Now, my friends, I've got to give you some straight talk.
There's going to be more wars. There's going to be more wars.
We're in a greater struggle that is going to be with us for the rest of this century.
We know that you voted against, well, actually you didn't vote on the new GI Bill and you spoke out against it. We understand you had a difference on that, but we haven't heard an explanation of why you voted against your colleagues' proposals to increase health care funding in 2004, 5, 6, and 7, when we had troops coming back from 2 wars.
Taxpayers should feel better about the use of their dollars that have been spent on defense all these years.
Do you think that's a wise investment for the American people? Tens of billions of dollars. That's the figure from Paul Bremer, the Iraqi civilian administrator. Tens of billions of dollars.
I think it's a wise investment.
That the Bush administration has built a new generation of nuclear weapons that we call usable nukes. And they have a nuclear posture now which permits the preemptive use of nuclear weapons in a non-nuclear environment if the commander-in-chief deems U.S. forces to be at significant risk. If we start bombing Iran, I'm telling you right now, it's not going to work.
Bomb Iran? Bomb, 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 bomb.
We will use nuclear weapons to break the backbone of Iranian resistance, and it may not work.
My friends, I know how to handle the Iranians, and I'll handle them.
But what it will do is this: it will unleash the nuclear genie. And so for all those Americans out there tonight who say, you know what, taking on Iran's a good thing. I just told you, if we take on Iran, we're going to use nuclear weapons. And if we use nuclear weapons, the genie ain't going back in the bottle until an American city is taken out by an Islamic weapon in retaliation. So tell me, you want to go to war with Iran? Pick your city. Pick your city. Tell me which one you want gone. Seattle, LA, Boston, New York, Miami. Pick one, because at least one's going. And that's something we should all think about before we march down this path of insanity, 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 insanity.
McCain wins Iraq, foreign policy, Islamofascism, the war. He has to make those the issues, I think, given the economy tanking and the rest of the Republican problems. He will make Cheney look like Gandhi.